you are at a business networking event or a social gathering, and you meet someone whom you want to know more about. A potential client, or they may be a good business contact, future business contact. However, when you start speaking, your mind keeps on thinking, what am I going to say next? What story am I going to say next? How many of you relate to what I'm saying here? Good, all of us. Personally, I want to improve the art of conversation in both professionally and also in personal aspects. I found a trick that improved or changed my life upside down. I want to share my experiences with you. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and interpreters. The good news is that today I'm going to share this technique which you can incorporate in your professional and personal life. Coming back to conversations, there are just only two types of conversations. One is closed conversations and the other one is open-ended conversations. If you ask a closed conversation, people usually come back with a short and precise answers. For example, isn't it beautiful outside today? People say either yes or a no. So, if for a closed conversation, there are people start with like did you or have you kind of thing. So today, I'm going to give a live demo of how a closed conversation is going to look like, and how an open-ended conversation looks like, and how you feel the difference of it. So, Sheila, can I borrow your help for a second? Good evening, Sheila. How are you?
Fine.
What speech are you working on?
Number 10?
How long have you been with Toastmasters?
5 years?
Did you enjoy Toastmasters?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. How many of you can completely forget this conversation very easily? How many of you started a conversation like this in a business networking event or a social gathering? See, closed conversation is like riding a bicycle. When you're riding a bicycle, you need two things. You need balance and forward momentum. If you ask too many closed questions, you lose the momentum of going forward. So it's very difficult to move forward. So you ignore these closed questions and come back to open-ended questions. When you come back to open-ended questions, people give an informative answer and they start think about it, what to say. So they stop and think. They give their ideas, opinions, stories, examples, and you create a relationship with them. The person who is asking the question and the person who is giving the answer, there is a relationship that gets established. Let's see an example of how an open-ended question looks like. Sheila, one more time. How are you, Sheila?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. What do you think about this special Birmingham Toastmasters compared to other clubs?
Compared to other clubs, this club is fabulous. There are so many friendly faces, and I really like how there are greeters here that greet you every time you come in.
Wow. And out of all these sessions in Toastmasters, table topics, evaluations, speeches, which one you like most and why?
I really like the prepared speeches because I know our members put a lot of time and effort into the preparation, and the evaluations too, just because you get a lot of good feedback.
And one last question. How did you first came to Toastmasters?
My boss said I needed to improve my presentation skills and strongly recommended Toastmasters for me.
Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause for Sheila. See, you may think why I am stressing too much for open-ended question. See, if you ask, personally, I'd like to share an experience. You all know, most of you know that I worked in Singapore before I came to the United States. But many of you don't know how I landed here. When I worked in Singapore, my friend used to work in Kansas City. We used to call our weekends, talk about our childhood days, so many things we used to share. And one day, the conversation shifted to open-ended questions. So he was asking like, how's the job opportunities, careers, professional growth in Singapore? I was telling about that, and I asked the same question to him. And we've been discussing who should come where. Then finally, it was decided that I should come to the United States. He gave me some pointers on where to apply for a job. I applied and landed in Chicago in 1997. 15 years passed by. How come all these things happened? I am much happier in the United States than I am in Singapore. All these things happened because I just asked an open-ended question. See, if you ask an open-ended question, you build a very good relationship. An acquaintance become a friend. So if an acquaintance become a friend, assume if you have good friends in professional life and also personal life, you get one step closer to the destination you want. Your lifestyle becomes richer and you are much happier. All you have to do is ask an open-ended question. So, my dear interprets, what do you think? Asking an open-ended question would change your art of conversation and the improvement of your lifestyle. Toastmaster.